Welcome back, everybody. We are here with our sleep interview series, Nick on Sleep, and welcome, Nick, again.
It's great to be back again, Hanno. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Nick, a lot of people ask us about devices and how they affect our sleep. So can you tell us a bit about these blue light emitting devices and what we should do about it?
I think, first of all, you should get a better relationship with light because, as we've touched on in previous sessions, the circadian rhythms, the sun going around our planet, the blue light that creates triggers all the right hormones for us to be fully active and happy. And in so many, so blue light is absolutely fantastic, and the right levels of it in a natural way is brilliant. So I think all we need to be careful of with like shut your tech down, it's going to stop you sleeping, is just get a better understanding of just how much light and when, and not treat it as a negative thing, as a positive thing.
Okay, and what is your strategy with dealing with the blue light in the evening to, well, fall asleep much easier?
I think the one thing that we've, using technology, Hannu, is there's a little light meter that you can get in the App Store. It's called a Lux light meter. It's just simply using the camera to measure the strength of light. And as you can see, there's a number on there. And if you move it around, it'll change. And so even where I'm sat right now, it's measuring 91 lux while I'm sat here in this room. And it looks quite a bright room. As if I go over to the window, it's now measuring 52,000 lux.
Wow.
So what we do is try to get an idea that from the start of your day, you really want to be ensuring that you'll spend most of it in diminished light, even in your homes and offices and where you are. So it's getting a nice balance of diminished light, but also making sure you're getting the right strength of blue light to keep that balance throughout the day. And then when you get to the evenings, if you're aware of how much light is coming from the devices and from your internal lights, you can think of red light, yellow light, amber light, candle light don't affect you. So it's sometimes really easy to find out that I can tone the color of this screen down, okay? Mm-hmm. I can get a diffuser on there. I can get a diffuser on my device. And also, I can also show myself that it's 310 lux right in front of this laptop now. If I just move back to here, it's dropped quite significantly. So you just need a better relationship with light rather than how it's affecting you, because sometimes you should use technology to your advantage, not always treat it as negative.
But there are also devices or also apps to reduce this blue light when using an electronic device, right?
Yeah. So if you've got a better understanding of, I'm sat here talking to you and I'm only in 110 lux. Now that is completely diminished light. If I spent all my time here in this little space, all I'm doing is producing melatonin, which is suppressing and chilling me out and calm and not trying to be active. So I need to move from this position and go and sit by the window for a bit. I need to hop outside every 90 minutes. I need to have a lamp or something, on my desk that's emitting blue light. So I get a hit from that light. So it's sort of getting a better understanding that within your own environments to have a better control over it and use it positively.
Once we met in the evening, I saw you with another pair of glasses. What's it all about?
Well, what we look at in sports is to try and not only ensure we get the right balance of light, so we want to get this good strength of light, which could be 50, 60,000 lux at certain parts of the day, is that we want to get a nice balance throughout the day. So we're trying to generate the serotonin and melatonin, the two hormones, nice. So these glasses are called blue blockers, a company called Swannies, very popular. And all they do is give us the ability to control the amount of blue light entering into our pineal gland through the light receptors.
Yeah.
So I will use them today. When you get all the summer months and we get a lot more light after we've finished work and things like that, you want to sort of get a nice balance. So you could use these when the summer months are there, that when you are at home and relaxing with the family, whatever, you can just ensure that you're not getting overexposed. But also, you can also, if you do have, you know, with your different occupations, if you are spending a lot of time around the computers and strong lights in your offices and everything else, then you can just manage it by using things like this. But also, it's not all about having that colored thing. These are transparent glasses, but they're doing exactly the same thing. This is for actually spending time working with laptops all the time, because there are some medical conditions you need to be careful of with swollen eyeballs and headaches and migraines and sight. Your sight can be deteriorating quite quickly because you're just focused in a certain area, so peripheral vision gets damaged. So you can try and get a better balance that maybe every 90 minutes, Hanu, the old 90-minute technique, is every 90 minutes, I will simply take my normal glasses off and put these glasses on for 30 minutes. I might switch the lamp on for 15 minutes to just increase the light. So it's just about better understanding, and it comes from little light meters like that. You can just realize that the light coming off this technology is very weak, and you can actually protect yourself from it anyway. It's a much better approach if you're just more aware of what light's about.
Great. Let's come to another topic of electronic devices. So I personally know some people who switch off the entire electronic circuit in the sleeping room because they are afraid of electromagnetic radiation. What is your view on this?
I think, you know, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as a vegan. There was no such thing as gluten-free. There was no Pilates. People in, you know, meditation was an everyday thing. I think what happens is as we keep moving along, and then we start getting exposed to 5G, and so we've got masts and sensors everywhere around us to enable us to be more productive, but also to be closely watched. I think there is a lot of things, like we're learning so much that some people really do believe, and we have used it in sport, where you can get a little measuring device and you can find there's little hot spots in any environment where all of this electricity creates a little sort of vortex. And if your bedroom and your bed happens to be in one of those vortexes, it can actually have quite an impact on brain activity. So it's very early stages for a lot of people, but I think the more and more we develop, we'll start to find out that there are more places we should be sleeping and can sleep, because we can sleep anywhere, on anything, because we know this, is actually where we choose to sleep at any point in time because of circumstances. You know, we talked earlier in sessions about when the really hot months come along, or you're traveling around the world in different climates, is not always to think that you have to sleep in a bed just because there's a bed there in that particular room. We're going to get far more intellectual about maximizing our recovery, rather than just thinking about 8 hours a night in that bed, in that room. Is just not going to wash for the future.
Okay, so obviously sleeping devices are quite helpful in a lot of cases, but we should be aware on how they could influence possibly our sleeping quality. Thanks a lot, Nick, for your explanations. Talk to you soon.